I don't get it. I swirled my straw around in my ice pecan latte, not the manliest drink choice, but Amaya had turned me on to them, and now I couldn't go back to whatever I had ordered before. I would never be the same. Yeah, Josh, Amaya chimed in, leaning back in her chair almost like she's relaxing, the front legs tilting off the ground. Me neither. It looks like Grinder. I snorted. It doesn't kind of look like Grinder. How would you even know that, Cooper? I mean, I've seen what Grinder looks like. Have you never seen what Grinder looks like? My head whipped between them, searching for understanding in Josh's face and sympathy in Amaya's. I only found laughter. I crossed my arms and sulked. Guys, I know it's weird, Josh finally continued. He pinched his baseball cap by the bill and spun it around so it was backwards, leaning forward and holding out his phone for us to look at. Doing that was almost a nervous tic for him. It had to be the 50th time that day that he rotated his hat like that when he was wearing one, just to rotate it back again. Sometimes I joked that he was going to make his hair curly like that. I don't even know who made this, Jackson said. They found it on the dark web or something. Your cousin, Jackson? You're not really falling for that, are you? Amaya smirked at him, leaning on her elbows and chewing on her straw. He's definitely messing with you. He just glared at her and kept going. Some people think it's like promotion for a movie or something. Some people think the people on here are dead. Dead? Like ghosts or something? He shrugged loosely, his face blank. Dunno. There's just a lot of theories. They could also just be bots or something. So what's the point of us using this? I chimed in, slurping loudly at the last hints of liquid in my cup. I got a couple dirty looks from some old ladies at the table next to us, and I smiled apologetically, just making sounds sketchy. Josh grinned, coming alive. He rotated his hat again and leaned in closer. He was going to tell us a juicy secret. Amaya and I glanced at each other. People are finding love, apparently, he whispered, yelled. Like, on the app? With ghost/bots? He shook his head. No, not exactly. I think the point of the app is that it figures out your type or something, and then you just find someone exactly like that. They are drawn to you or something. So now this is some sort of tarot card universe soulmate bullshit? I always joke like this, but I could tell she was getting legitimately a little frustrated with him. I didn't blame her. Her emotions had been all over the place lately since she and Sean broke up. I felt guilty for feeling a little relieved they finally ended it, considering it meant she had more time to hang out with us, because I knew she was having a horrible time with it. They had been together for 2 years. Things like that were a big deal. On the other hand, I hadn't had a girlfriend in years. I hadn't even been on a date, longer than I wanted to admit. And even if I could get a date, I didn't think I'd know what to do with that opportunity. I thought college would be a constant party where I was meeting girls left and right, but so far I had been sorely mistaken. I couldn't lie. What Josh was saying sounded appealing in theory. If it was real, that was, which it wasn't. Listen, Josh said, offering her a crooked smile. I know it sounds fucking insane. It definitely is insane. I haven't even gotten to the weirdest part yet. What's the weirdest part then, Josh? She brushed some dark brown curls away from her eyes, scowling at her own iced latte. Spit it out. Check this out. He held out his phone again, and Amaya and both leaned in to look at it. It was the same screen he had shown us before, the one that looked a little bit like Grindr, with a black background, and the only thing on the page were a list of open chats. He tapped on a little question mark in the top right corner, and that was when the terms and conditions popped up. The terms and conditions are listed below as 1. If someone messages you that you would like to speak, you must reply within 10 minutes of receiving the message. Number 2. If you do not wish to speak to someone, you must repeat this phrase word for word. Thank you for your interest, but I am not open at this time. I wish you good luck with finding what you want. Number 3. If you wish to stop speaking to someone, repeat the phrase above. Number 4. If someone continues messaging you after you have sent the phrase above, get to high ground, lock all doors and windows, and contact customer support immediately. Delete the app. Do not re-download the app. Number 5. Do not message anyone between 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. Always say good night before you go to sleep. Number 6. Always say good morning as soon as you wake up. Number 7. Always be polite. Number 9. Do not send more than one message at a time. Number 10. Do not offer them anything to eat. Number 11. Do not agree to meet up with anyone on the app. Do not tell them where you are, even if they say that they already know that. Do not invite them into your home. Number 12. If they are near your home, get to high ground, lock all doors and windows, and contact customer support immediately. Delete the app. Do not re-download the app. Number 13. Do not let them trick you. They will try. Number 14. We are not responsible for any negative consequences of using this app. Amaya and I just stared at the page for a long time, both of our eyes skimming over the words once, twice, 3 times. Finally, Amaya leaned back, rubbing at her face with the palms of her hands. This has to be a fucking joke. This has to be. Josh shrugged, setting his phone down. It's crazy, I know. Did you agree to all of that? I asked him. I felt a little uneasy, my stomach churning. The pecan latte wasn't sitting well anymore. Have you been using this? He shrugged again, now looking a little bit embarrassed. Listen, I know it sounds insane, but it's just for fun. I just want to see if it's real. Jackson met this girl like a week ago after using this app for the first time, and I met her, and she really is normal and nice. I found that hard to believe. Amaya's face was red, and she kept nervously tucking her hair behind her ears. Look, if you're messing with me, if you're both in on this is really shitty prank to pull on me right now. No, both Josh and I cried out at the same time, getting a couple more weird looks. No, Amaya, it's not a fucking prank. Josh finished. I promise, it's just something weird I found, and I wanted to tell you guys about it. Whatever, she huffed, and pushing to her feet and slinging her bag over her shoulder. Just whatever, I don't feel good. I'll talk to you guys later. Amaya, I trailed off as she slammed her half-empty coffee up into the trash can and briskly strode towards the door. Josh and I shared a look. Dude, I swear I wasn't trying to mess with her, he said after a while, searching my face to gauge my belief in him. I nodded, whipping my sweaty palms off my jeans. I know, she just isn't doing well right now, with what happened between her and him. I hesitated for a long moment, chewing on my bottom lip, before I spoke again. Jackson really met someone. I downloaded the app that night. I wasn't proud of it, but my curiosity becomes stronger than my uneasiness, and it's embarrassing as it to admit. I was getting desperate. I just wanted someone. I wanted to meet someone nice and pretty that I could go to places with, and I wasn't having a luck anywhere else. I considered it a win-win. If this app was just some bullshit prank, then we could get a good laugh out of it. And if it wasn't, and it was the real deal, I might get a girlfriend finally. Josh had sent the link to our group chat with Amaya, and she immediately responded by reacting to the message with thumbs down. That meant that even if she was still a little peeved, at the very least she wasn't upset anymore. It was a good sign. I pressed on the link and then agreed to download it, crossing my fingers and praying for no horrible viruses. The app really was incredibly bare bones, nothing but a messaging screen, which was empty so far in my case. There wasn't anything else to look at other than the terms and conditions, which I read again. No one to swipe on, no bios to read, nothing. I was brushing my teeth when I got my first message. My phone buzzed and I nearly choked on my toothpaste when I read the notification. Noella, hello handsome. For some reason, the smiley face emotion unnerved me. I checked the time, 11:30 p.m. so I was fine on that rule. I pressed on the message and her profile popped up. There was no bio, just a name and a picture to look at. I studied it closely, my eyebrows kinching together. The picture was of a girl, looking definitely somewhere close to my age. She had shoulder-length, curly dark hair and dark skin, and she was posing in a yellow field wearing a flowery dress. It looked normal to me at first, but then a closer look, the more it felt off. Her smile looked stiff, almost like it was painted on, and something about her eyes wasn't quite right there. Her pupils looked strange, but I couldn't put my finger on exactly how. Something about that picture filled me with a sense of dread that I couldn't fully place it either. I panicked and I checked the terms and conditions again before I composing myself and sending the message. Then 10 minutes could pass, just in case. Cooper, thank you for your interest, but I'm not open at this time. I wish you luck in finding what you want. That's the message I sent. I waited. 3 little typing bubbles popped up, and then they disappeared. 5 minutes passed, then 10. I sighed in relief, and I shut my phone off. I woke up to 2 more messages from other women. One was named Alyssa, and one named Jody. My heart began to race. They had messaged during the night, so it had been 10 minutes before I replied, right? The word scrolled across the back of my eye like a subtitle. You must reply within 10 minutes of receiving the message. Had I broken that rule? But then again, I wasn't supposed to message back at night, so surely it didn't count. I typed my responses, not bothering to look too closely at their profiles yet, not wanting to psych myself out. Alyssa, hi. Cooper, hi, good morning. Jody, hello, how are you doing today? Cooper, hello, good morning. I'm doing well, how are you? I tried to match their energy. I made sure to be polite, and I also made sure to say good morning. I couldn't get my heart rate to slow down while I got ready for work, and I couldn't get over the dreaded feeling that I had felt when I thought I might have broken the rule. I knew it probably wasn't real, but what if it was? What would happen to me if I didn't follow the terms and conditions? At work, I got in trouble more than once for checking my phone between waiting tables. I couldn't help it. Even if it was a stupid joke, I didn't want to find out. I only got one message from someone new, someone named Sonny, and I caught it after 8 minutes had already passed and it was sent. I was anxious and relentless all day, the way until it was nearly midnight, when I could finally relax. The other girls had messaged me a couple of times throughout the day, and I had replied politely, asking them questions about the things they'd like to do and places they'd like to go. Everything really seemed fairly average, besides the very slight hint of stiffness in the way they talked, and the strange qualities about all of their profile pictures. Maybe they really were just well-trained bots. The thought made me feel a little bit better. They probably weren't even real. The only thing out of the ordinary was one message from Alyssa. Alyssa, would you want to take me out to dinner some night this week? Get something to eat? Of course, in normal circumstances, this wouldn't have been a strange thing to say at all, but I remembered that at last second, do not offer them anything to eat. I told her I was extra busy that week, and I just wanted to get to know her first. She had typed for a long time before responding with, okay, smiley face. Before I could get to midnight, I sent my goodnights and let out a long, shaky breath. I called Josh. Hey man, how's it going? He sounded out of breath. He must have been on his nightly run. I had tried telling him it was crazy to go on runs in the middle of the night, and so had Amaya, but he didn't listen. He was a whistle, straight, mostly muscular man. He had nothing to be scared of. He was invincible. This app is stressful, dude. I lay back in my bed, closing my eyes. It's taking a lot out of me. I heard Josh laugh on the other end, slightly choppy and still breathless. Don't take it too seriously. Like I was saying, it could definitely just be some movie promotion or something. Also, you get used to it. I have. Yeah? I trailed off. Have you talked to Amaya? A little. Why? I'm just worried about her. She has been so out of it lately. Yeah, we should do something for her, man. Like plan something. I couldn't help but smile. The 3 of us had been inseparable since freshman orientation. We had been just put in a group. I had thought it wouldn't last, that it would just be a case of freshman friend group, but it had. I felt lucky to have found both of them in such a big school, in such a big area. Yeah, we should. Let's hang out tomorrow. Sure thing. I went to bed at night feeling a little bit better and a little less anxious. I woke up to a ton of messages, a couple of new ones, but mostly pages of one for the girls I had already been spoken to. Alyssa, Cooper. Alyssa, don't go to bed. Talk to me, Cooper. Alyssa, I miss you. Alyssa, can I come over? Alyssa, I'm moving soon. Could you help me move? Alyssa, you could make me dinner. Alyssa, Cooper, wake up. Alyssa, I'm alone. Alyssa, I'm cold. Alyssa, it's so cold. I shivered. I didn't even bother reading throughout the other messages, just responded with a good morning and apologies for not responding to last night. I wasn't sure this app was for me. The next few days went by without much of a hitch. The girls on the app were creepy, but they seemed harmless, and I was careful to follow all of the rules. I kept telling myself that even if these girls freaked me out, they weren't even the ones I would end up with. If this app worked, I would meet someone who was so perfect for me very, very soon. And then I could delete it and forget about it forever. I would give it another week or so. Then I was going to give up. That was until Josh came into my job on Wednesday. I saw him waiting outside the break room, his face pointed down, wringing his hands anxiously. The first thing I noticed was that he had no hat on. The second thing was that he was crying. What's wrong, man? I asked him, frowning and looking over at him. Is everything okay, dude? He shook his head, finally looking up, meeting my eyes. I saw horror in them and some other emotions that I hadn't seen from him ever before. Amaya is missing, Cooper. She's gone. One thought struck me all at once, the first stupid thought I had. Did she download it too? Everything after that felt like a huge gray blur. My manager gave me the day off work and I went with Josh following him to police station. I sat in the gray room. I answered the questions. I tried not to cry when they told me that her roommate had reported her missing after she hadn't seen her for over 24 hours. I tried not to panic when they told me her roommate also found the window broken that morning and some blood staining the carpet, but there was no body down on the ground. No other traces of anything. I felt so guilty. I should have texted her more. I should have been there. I should have been calling and checking on her. I just had been so distracted by work and this stupid app. The only thing keeping us from ruling it at the suicide is lack of body, a female cop told me, clearly trying to be gentle. She placed a hand on my arm. Her roommate told us that she was going through a breakup. Right? I felt myself filled with painful, searing rage. Amaya wouldn't do that. I looked at the cop, almost slamming the desk, and then I apologized. In the eyes, trying to make the eye contact. I promise. I could tell she didn't believe me. I stayed over at Josh's place. We both shuffled around like zombies, basically communicating only through either grunts of acknowledgement or shaky, quiet conversations about any updates. There were none to talk about. I completely forgot about the app. I forgot about it until it was about a week after she disappeared. My phone had been buzzing non-stop the entire week, but most of the time I had entirely shut it off. Some of my messages had been from our family, Emilia's family, Amaya's family, and our classmates and friends, and some had been from the stupid app. I couldn't bring myself to reply to many of them at all, but then I got a notification that caught my eye. Amaya. Hi, Cooper. It took me longer than I would like to admit to realize what I was looking at. At first I thought it was a text message, and my heart soared up into my throat. Then I realized it was the app. When I opened up, I was bombarded with messages both from new people and old ones. The old fear I felt about the app began to resurface, bubbling up like bile. Alyssa, Cooper, I'm coming over. Alyssa, can I come over now? Alyssa, I know where you are. Alyssa, can I come over? Alyssa, answer me, Cooper. I'm going to come over. Jody, meet me. Jody, please meet me. Jody, please meet me. Now. Sunny, cold. I ignored all of them, despite the horrible sick feeling in my gut. I opened the one from Maya. I looked at her profile picture. It was her. It was a picture of her I had never seen before. It was dark outside and taken with flash. Her hair was down, falling around her face in a way that she couldn't stand. Her chin tilted a little to the side. She was smiling in the way that first girl was. Wrong, stiff, strange, and wrong. That wasn't her smile. Those weren't her eyes. They were far too dull and very slightly pointing in different directions. Cooper? Amaya? Cooper, is that really you? Cooper, are you okay? The three bubbles popped up, then disappeared, then popped up again. I stood up again, beginning to pace. Should I call Josh? Should I call the police? Was this some sort of sick joke? Finally, my phone buzzed. Amaya, I'm near your home. I started to cry. I couldn't help it. I wanted to throw my phone. I wanted to break it. Cooper, where are you? What happened to you? Amaya, 10 feet. I stared at the message. I felt like my vision was going out. Cooper, 10 feet from where? It's cold here, Amaya. I swallowed hard. It felt like swallowing rocks. Cooper, thank you for your interest, but I'm not open at this time. I wish you luck in finding what you want. Amaya, 6 feet. Amaya, cold. Amaya, and dark. I knew what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to lock the doors, the windows, get to a high ground and call the customer support, but I couldn't. All I could was stare at my phone, at her message, frozen like a deer in headlights. The headlights were coming so fast, I couldn't see or breathe or think. She was typing again, and as my phone buzzed, my blood ran completely cold. It was 1:56 a.m. No one was there, no one but me, and whatever it was, I wasn't even sure if I could stop shaking enough to call the police. I definitely couldn't hide, not then, and I had broken nearly all of the rules. Amaya, let me in, Cooper. Amaya, I have to show you where to look at me. I finally managed to hide. I'm hiding now in my attic. I can hear it down there, dragging itself from room to room. My phone is going to die, and none of my calls will go through, but I had to write this down. I had to tell someone. Josh, if you read this, I hope you're okay. I hope you follow the rules. I don't know where Amaya is, but that's not Amaya. And if you see me again, I'm not sure it will be me neither. I'm sorry. It's typing again. I've broken one last rule. I didn't delete the app. Wish me luck. Hopefully everyone enjoyed this story. This amazing story was brought to you by orangeplron. He's an amazing author on Reddit. I will post a link towards his Reddit page and the actual story, a link towards it, so you can read it yourself if you want to. And make sure you drop a subscribe button, because we are going for 100 subscribers. We are right now at 61, and we are pushing that. We're going to go for 100, hopefully before October. And make sure you check out my Twitch channel. I stream every other day on Twitch. And make sure you check out the TikTok. We will post clips on it. And if you have any recommendations for future videos, future narrations, or voice acting, feel free to drop by. And if you want to, we have a Discord community /server that you can join through the Twitch channel. So drop a follow, put !Discord in the chat of the Twitch channel. Even if I'm not streaming, you can do that. And click on the link and accept the rules and the roles. And until next time, make sure you take care of yourself, get some water, get some food, rest, and make sure you never trust strangers.